Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to today's trade recap from today's price action. Today's March, if I'm not wrong, March 3rd, 2026. I end up taking two trades and low key, oh, really high key. I don't even know how to start this trade recap for the reason that I should be taking only one trade a day, and today I broke my rules and I took another trade. It didn't end up playing out the second trade, but um, I don't know. I think that today I just wanted to prove something to myself that I still can, like, after this streak that I've been going through, that I still can, like, make it work out. And I think that that was what it triggered me today. I think since I was really bearish in the morning, and I was like super confident on my draws and super high convicted on my setup and stuff. But something that I do is that before the market open, what I do is that I write what I want to see. So then when I go into the market, I can see it, and I like can take action of it. So what I said today is that I wanted to see a sweep of this internal high at the 1 hour inside of this 1 hour for value app and just keep going down, for the reason that over here we can see that we tap into this 4 hour high, and well, we tap into this 4 hour high like barely, and we inverse this gap. So I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna look for shorts because, well, it's the most obvious. So I saw this internal high right here. So the only place that I wanted to see price like go and then like to seek the liquidity and then go lower, it was this high. And I wanted to see this also liquidity getting hit. That we didn't end up getting hit. We didn't end up getting swept. But the thing is that, like, completely honest, uh, I I jumped the gun too quickly today, and well, nothing that I can do about it. After that, I noticed that I got stopped out at the first short. Okay, this was like my break even point. I was aiming to all those lows, pretty confident in my bias, and we swept a market open right here. We swept out that high. I went short right here. My stop loss over here, and I was aiming to these lows. Going break even at this intermediate low and just seeing a sweep. And we also put on an SMT with ES with this high, a market open. So I was like, oh shit, we got accumulation manipulation. I want to see the distribution. Like, it seems so obvious. And when I saw, I was like, oh shit, I really like this. But I forgot something, that usually when I want to see like an intermediate sweep of a high time frame, I usually need to wait for I usually, what I do is that I wait for a resweep. That's something that I've been noticing, that like if I take that first entry, like almost always, like for the past like three trades that I've seen, like I take it like this. I need to wait for that resweep, or I need to wait for a high time for an inversion, like a 5 minute for value gap. For example, in this case, it was just a 1 minute for value gap that we inverse, and then I got swept, and then we delivered to my draws. And then, well, I should have waited, like, realistically speaking, I should have waited for that resweep. That's just something that I've been noticing that helps me a lot. And well, after this loss, I saw that we had like this re-entry right here, but my psychology actually was like really fucked. Was really fucked in the morning. So I just said like, nah, you know what? I'm not gonna re-enter. This is better if I just step away, and if I want to look at the market or whatever, I'm just gonna do it later or tomorrow. So I just prefer stepping away right now, because I feel like if I take another loss right here, I'm gonna be so pissed at myself. So I prefer just not risking my mentally in that. So yeah, this was my stop loss. This was my first trade, my setup, intermediate high, SMT, accumulation, manipulation. I want to see the distribution. So yeah, that's something that I need to learn from, and just is just waiting for a resweep after these high time frame inversions. That's something that helps me. to avoid these type of losses, and something that I've been noticing that the price action does. Let me turn on the executions. This is the executions right here. Entry, stop loss. So the second trade that I ended up taking, it was in PM session. I don't fucking trade PM session, but I wanted to prove something to myself. I wanted to prove something to myself, and I'm not like really proud about that. That I needed to prove that to myself, because I do trust in myself and in my experience and everything. But that there's like little like past weeks, it's been kind of harsh, and I think that in a way it broke like my psychology, like my breaking point in a way of discipline and stuff. And I just wanted to prove to myself, and I just saw a setup over here. This short, um, right here, this is the second setup that I end up taking. We put on an SMT between that. We had a nice inverse right here with volatility right here, entry right here. I my stop loss, I put it at the SMT, and I was aiming for these like equal lows, triple equal lows, that it was a 50-minute for value up unfulfilled. Why did I end up taking this trade? Because overall I'm looking for lower prices. So we were inside of this 4 hour for value up, so I'm expecting rejection out of this zone to then keep going lower. So yeah, we did end up having that trade, and well, play out. My break-even point was this intermediate low that we traded inside of 5 minutes. So that was like my break-even point. I was pretty confident in this trade, not gonna lie. I was pretty confident because it's something that I've been seeing that plays out and it works, and it's a model. So I took it. That's what I took it. In a way, I would have preferred not taking this trade, because my psychology behind this trade was pretty shitty. I was really focused on the outcome and felt tempted to do a bunch of different things, stupid things, because I had a shit psychology. I had a psychology while we were chopping right here. My psychology was pretty shit. But then I just like decided to step away. And I just said like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna let the actually edge play out, and I'm just gonna let it go. I want to prove that to myself, and well, it did end up playing out. So I end up break even in the day. I was asking to myself like, is this trade like worth what I went through? Like if it like it like I don't even know how to say, because like I'm really embarrassed. Not gonna lie, I feel embarrassed of myself for taking this trade and breaking my rules after easily plus a month of not making like any of these dumb mistakes and just bam going backwards. So I feel pretty ashamed of myself. I'm looking at the pros and the cons of this day. First, what I'm trying to see, pros, I was able to identify my draws on liquidity correctly in AM and in PM. Um, I jumped the gun too quickly in market open. I jumped the gun too quickly. I didn't wait for the receipt that I usually, when I see like this type of setups, I say like, I don't like the structure. I prefer just waiting. I'm just gonna wait a little bit more. I'm just gonna see like a receipt or a little bit when it's like super obvious, and you just go like, okay, boom, this is gonna play out 100%. Like yeah, it was my plan, but I do feel like I jumped the gun too quickly. And then in PM session, I took this trade based on my ego, 100% based on my ego, and just wanted to get a win. And yay, won, pero like it was not worth it. It was not worth it. It was not worth it. But at least I can tell to myself like my edge is there. I just need to focus more and be more patient, and actually um, and actually perform in the max of my capabilities, because I know that I have more capabilities than these dumbass executions and this execution and these executions. I know because I already proven that to myself a bunch of times for a long period of time. But I just gotta get more serious and actually lock the fuck in and don't make mistakes like this again. Just to end up break even on the day, not even a 1 to 2. Uh, well, right now the only thing that I can do is actually just laugh, 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 laugh. If I wanna get my confidence back and just refine my edge and understand a little bit more and that type of stuff, is just journal and back testing. That's the only thing that I can do. That's the only thing that I can do. So yesterday I did end up taking a trade. I did end up taking a trade. It was a loss. I took a 5 minute fair value of that. Again, it was like mechanically as fuck, but like it was not worth it. Low key, low key, it was not worth it. Where was it? It was this one. We filled out the new week opening gap, and we had an inverse. It was a good trade actually. This one, it was what I wanted to see. It just didn't play out because we built up a bunch of lower resistance liquidity at my in lower time frame, and also out of nowhere, I didn't know, but we had Trump speaking at fucking 11 a.m. and we distribute fucking 200 points on market open, so it's better just to step away for a minute and just wait for better structure, wait for something that I actually like, not something that looks like a little bit a rebuscado. I was aiming something like that. It's 5 minute for value unfulfilled and intermediate low right here and 5 minute inverse. That's what I took. My stop loss was right there. My stop loss was like right here. But yeah, so it's just about locking the fuck in. Yeah, that's it actually. Just I gotta keep working in myself and journal this type of stuff and take this as a lesson that I got my edge, but I got my edge when I'm patient, when I don't jump the gun too quickly, when I follow my rules, when I follow the things that I've been learning. Because the thing is that you can apply every single model, whatever you want, you can apply 100%. But the thing is that in my opinion, the win rate is gonna be higher if you apply the same market experience that you've been learning for the last couple of years or the last year or whatever time you have like trading. But like for me, I've been so focused on just taking the setup, boom, taking the setup, boom, taking the setup, boom, but taking the setup, but I'm taking losses and break evens that I would have been able to avoid if I just apply my market experience. And that's something that I don't know, it's kind of difficult to differentiate in my head when to apply market experience and when to apply market experience and when to apply the actual setup and get those two correlated and start building that statistic, that winning statistic. So that's something that I'm gonna be focusing moving on from today, and just applying that market experience and applying it within my setup. And that's it. And backtest more and fucking don't do this type of shit and don't act on ego. So yeah, thank you so much y'all for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.